I've been with Skylander since the very beginning. I helped define the characters and the look and the character style. My background has been tinkering, so that's kind of where I started from. I just like to make and tinker with things. So here at Toys for Bob, we started making toys, and that really helped in this whole process. The kind of the background of actually making something with your hands and doing something physical really paid off. So how I create characters is usually just doodling. You know, I pull a lot from nature, so lots of these characters, as you can see, are kind of inspired by nature. It's just lots of drawings, you know, lots of iterations. It's almost never the case I just draw one character and you go, hey, that's it. It's lots and lots of, you know, just explorations of around the same theme. After that, we model the characters, and then we, you know, animate it and stuff like that, and start working towards, you know, 3D printing and prototyping the actual physical toys. So before we started 3D printing, the process took a long time. Basically, we would draw a character. We have a toy team to kind of help us model it and visualize that, and also prototype the actual physical toys, and that could take months and months of work before we actually see anything back. Nowadays, with our 3D printers, we can print things really fast. So as soon as the character is finalized on the paper, we start modeling, and instantly we can print something overnight. You know, after the model's done, we can try different detailed levels, expressions, and stuff like that. So this is Food Fight. You can kind of see his face down like this. The 3D print looks like this when it first comes out of the printer. Basically, there's a support material and the real material underneath. And the reason for that is as it's slicing, printing one layer at a time, before it reaches all the way up here to his tomato, there's a lot of space, empty space, before it actually reaches all the way up to the tomato. So it actually has support material that's here. As you can see, I can scrape that off, and you'll see the tomato underneath. In fact, I can scrape all this stuff off, and the material underneath here is actually very hard, and the outer material, the support material, is actually very soft. It's made to just kind of come off. You can see chunks of it coming off. Also, we have some really amazing modelers here that can, you know, sculpt these characters in amazing detail. We can iterate really fast. As minor as like the glove detail on, you know, the leather pattern being too deep or too not enough, or you can barely see it, whatever it is, we can try out a bunch of prints overnight, and actually in the morning, then we can see, you know, everything. So, you know, it might take 4 hours to print a character, but that's amazing. That's amazingly fast. Before, it would take, you know, 4 weeks at least. With our object printer, we can print, you know, it depends on the size of the character. We can probably print maybe 5 giants at a time, or a bunch of the core Skylanders, probably maybe, you know, close to 10 of them at a time. It's basically whatever can fit in a tray this big. So sometimes 3D printing does go wrong. Here's an example of something that, you know, is the final print. Here's an example of an earlier print that looks great from this side, but if I turn around, you can kind of see the difference. It's all kind of melted back here. It's one of our print heads just, you know, malfunctioned, and so you kind of get these errors sometimes. That is, it's pretty disturbing. I would love to have a 3D printer that can do everything, but we're limited to a certain number of materials. Also, color is not very common. Our first 3D printer was a color printer. It was a Z-Corp printer. But the material is really, really fragile, so we needed something much more durable. But unfortunately, you know, they're not in color, so hopefully that would be improved in the future. Even as today, we're able to iterate so fast now, and it's the most useful tool in the office. The toy on the shelves is like kind of what we're aiming for always, or at least, you know, for me, it's that feeling of as a kid, we all remember going to the toy store and looking up on the shelf and going, wow, that is the coolest thing. That's kind of what we try to capture here.
They can do. Maybe we need to change the firmware and things like that to let them do it better. And then obviously we've got some version 2 products we're working on in the lab that extend this concept even farther.